Hello everyone, this is Jurgita with Magic Pond Crafts, and this is the March 1st, so happy spring everybody, yay! Yesterday we had ice day actually, so no school for kids because the roads were too icy. But today is March 1st, so like it's not exactly officially spring starting, but by months it's officially spring month. So I wanted to kick off this vlog with kind of springy, Eastery type of design by Noteworthy needle, Janice. So I'm gonna do this little bucket, rustic bucket series, bunnies with the eggs, and I got the kit from her Needlework Galleria in St. Charles, Missouri. I believe this past last year. So I got it as a full kit bucket. I got separately that she sells there too, and buckets came in these like a plastic bags, very nicely presented. And you see my music there I'm working on for chorus. So as you can see, the band is gonna be wrapped on the bottom portion, and this is not the real rust, but it's painted to look like a rust. So what comes in the kit is pattern, of course, and she has a fabric, trim, and all the gentle art sample threads here you can see attached. So it's all ready to go. There's a trim twine to go around this part right there, and the linen fabric, which is 32 count Belfast, which I'm gonna finish up edges first, because I always do that before I start. No matter how small the project is, I usually do with sewing machine, do like little zigzag and run through with the straight, because I don't have a serger. So that's what I'm kicking off my spring with. It's one of my planned starts for this year. So far I'm keeping up on my track with new starts. So wish me luck, and I'll talk to you later. And very welcome on March 3rd in this snowy winter. Seems like we're back to winter. So even church, some of the masses were closed today. I'll show you what I've been working on the past few days. And here's this little guy. Well, there are a couple of guys. It's Rusty Bucket series by Noteworthy needle. So I finished it. So it took me over 3 days, just under 7 hours, while watching like a Flosstube and stuff like that. And I even managed to put my initials under one bunny and a date for another. So I'll show you how I was set it up. This is, I believe, like a Edmund's floor stand. You see all the stuff like my George project box in there. So on the floor stand I had a Q-snap, and I rolled her up actually just like would be with Omanic frame. Tighten up, you know, you can loosen her up this way. So once you loosen her up, you can see the whole thing right there. So it was hardest to figure out these long stitch grass pieces, you know, how to attach. I did not want to drag throughout you know, the whole thing, so I was going slightly different way in the back, so I'll show you later on. And so the all stitching is done, everything is done. Back stitching was only under this last right egg, and the only thing will be left is to finally finish it, FFO it with the twine and stuff. So I'm very happy I can finally set this aside. It was not planned to finish fully for my Stitch 9 challenge, but it's still a finish, my first finish of the March. And I need to now figure out what else I need to pull out. So we'll see what I pick something next. Well, So I decided to pick something to stitch next. So I worked for several days on this one. It's a vintage roses by Merejka, Ukrainian company. So I'll put in a picture what it looked like last time I stopped. And so mostly what I needed to do, I already started some greenery, but there was no back stitching, and lots of that greenery leaves and the stems were not even stitched. So I'll show you what I've did. Ta-da! I finished all full crosses and half cross stitching, all things that needed to be done. So some of the color choices, it looks weird now, but apparently those like red dots are gonna be the spikes, you know. So it's gonna be just left to do a back stitch for that, and it will be all done. So again, all the flowers I've already backstitched, all the buds, except all the greenery that needs to be done. And even here it looks like right now that it's empty, but it's stitched since the color is similar. And I've been watching lots of Flosstube and just stitching. Of course, my sleep kind of got a little bit interrupted too, but I really wanted to finish in those few days because I wanna start my round robin, since I have to send it out by 14th, and today is the 4th, March 4th, and we still have a snow. It's slowly melting, and kids finally went to school, so I was able to do this in the morning and finish all the stitching. So again, a little bit more up close. Well, it looks like weird colors, but the shading after the back stitching will be nice. So I think I'm gonna set it aside, since I've put in quite a few hours in this, and right now don't want to work on this. So I guess one more time and my vintage roses will be done. And this is again Belfast even weave 32 count, not Ada color I chose. So as you can see, it's a linen with some of the stuff. So that's that, and let's pull out my round robin. So this is what I got, and I don't know if this is a free pattern or not, but it's by 9 Design Square Chart. So that's what I received, and I need to figure out if I want to do like here or there square, or here. There's quite a few squares to choose, and the threads would be either black or this blue or both. So we have a freedom to choose. And also I received a package, actually it was at the end of February, again my that word for me. So I'll show you what I bought from 123 Stitch. So I got some Gentle Arts threads, like you see, oatmeal, and you can see variation. The spring grass, I don't think it has that much. It's fairly still, similar color, see. And tropical ocean, I think I got 2 of them I needed, and that's gonna be for Erica Michael's Mermaid Berry, Silk Berry, that I'll be doing it. So beautiful colors, right? That, and I think also these colors were for it too. So I think I'm all set to do Mermaid Berry. Now this fabric I got as a suggested fabric for this Suhilis Dark Shadows, and it said you can do like I wanted to do as small as possible, and it suggested 20, so that's what's supposed to look, so you can kind of tell the color difference. But what do you think? Would it be better in this purple, or should I try on this color? So it's sort of like not burgundy, but what you see is pretty much that's the color is. What do you think it would look better? All those things here stitch on this better or on purple? Let me know below. And I'm still collecting my Santa's Village, so that's another pattern that I got. Oops. So I think I have only like 2 left for it, and I have just a couple beads left that I needed for something. Now I need to find it, maybe for one of Merejka's, perhaps, don't know. So that's my purchases, small ones. I have to get this fabric now, get ready for my round robin, because I think I wanna do again my spoiled child, my custom made pattern, because I did only tiny bit last month, so I want to put some more, and don't know how much of everything I can do since it's almost dinner time to make dinner. Like always, it's life, right? So okay, so please let me know about which fabric would you choose if you were my place, and I'll see you I guess in a few seconds for you with my updates. It's the 5th of March, and as you can see, I added a lion. I wish I could have stitched a dragon. So it took me a while to figure out which piece I want to stitch, and I picked this one, and I didn't want to do too much of a color changes, so I tried to kind of do the matching versus, like, you know, black lion and stuff. So I kind of went with this thing so they would mirror each other, and like just over 4 hours and a bunch of Flosstube fast speed watching later, I'm done with it. I tried to do pin stitch start versus like you know, the folded over loop method in here, and it's ready to be packed and shipped to the next recipient. I tried to pull out some kind of pet hair out of here that I don't know which one I had. Didn't want to get it stuck under my threads, but I think there's still some in there, so I'll try to pick even more. And excited. So I think the next one that I'm gonna be pulling out and stitching, since it's the 5th of March, the next challenge started with 6,000 stitches on a piece, so it's gonna be my George project coming out. And it's been, seems like a while since I stitched on it, and we'll see how much I can do in the rest of this week. So yeah, in beginning of March, and I have already a couple pieces finished, so that's weird. Since February I didn't have any of the finishes, but so yeah. All right, let's get on to it. I think first I need more coffee. Didn't get enough sleep because I was so absorbed in this piece last night. So I'll see you in a second. So for the record, this is what right now my George project looks like. And I'm starting this part, so I put a needle to kind of remember, which is halfway through page 25. So like a couple more columns left, and that's where the page 25 would be. So rough estimation would be maybe do up to here. That might make a 6,000, I'm not sure, maybe in here. So like good half point to the end of row. And Ginger, Gigi in Stitches, I gave her kind of showed her not showed her, I wrote her to maybe make a challenge to do 2 pages a month for 6 months, since she loves challenges, and I thought it might help her to get on George more. I know she probably has more colors, but she loves challenges, so she accepted. So we'll get all those pages done, I hope. So if anybody else who's doing George and wants to join, I think I put on closed group for George stitchers that information. So just need to get on with it and kick this George working. So that's where I am right now, and I'm doing the feathering. So when I was putting it back, since I had the sides taken off for my different project, like these parts, I tighten up, and then it's like, oops, these threads were stuck under tight, so I have to rewind again and pull all the threads out to make sure it doesn't get under. So I think I might take a lunch break, do a tiny bit on this to start, and then get on with the rest of my things to do at home and etc. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you, my start. Hello to everyone on this snowy again March 8th, and today is International Women's Day, so all the ladies, girls, women, happy Women's Day to you. Hope you relax and get to do what you want to do on this day. And I don't have real flowers right now to show you, but I want to show you this Dimensions Gold Collection Japanese Garden. This design is by Sun Kim, and I received it through eBay. I bid on it and can't wait to start stitching. I don't know if I can do it in this year though, but it's beautiful. Here in St. Louis actually has hello, you can see reflection. St. Louis has a beautiful Japanese garden that actually like might be the biggest on outside of Japan. So maybe once I start stitching this one, I can take it there and show some sceneries from the actual garden. So that was one of the items I received. And then another one my mother-in-law got for me as a Christmas gift, this one, and lost it somewhere. She bought it at the Needlework Galleria. So it's Erika Michaels Petite Collection, Silkberry, Honeyberry. So that's what it's gonna be stitched. So I'm very excited to get it, because I kind of forgot that she got it from me, and I just need to start kitting up because I want to use Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works threads most likely versus like a DMC. So those are the only items I received in the past few weeks. I'm really trying not to spend money. So what you're seeing here is my George that I've been working like crazy in past I don't know how many days since the last little video clip. So you can see I have it marked where I started with this little needle. So I already finished 3 columns, and for my 6,000 stitches challenge I have a needle marked there, so that's like a half point to here. So I'm almost third way done until like a 4th of April. So there's still a lot of work, but I'm kind of tired of it, and I'll be picking up different project. And that will be this one, Spoiled Child, my custom-made chart. I got it. So again, this is how much I had it done to start with, and this is 18 count Ada fabric. Marked it like about the 50 by 50 block here. So again, I don't know how much I'll do it, but I want to start kicking in this project a little bit more. And again, this is beautiful, beautiful painting from 1750s or something like that time. And that's where I'm starting. So let's go on this journey again. Ready? this evening already is March 10th. So this again is a spoiled child that I worked just a couple hours here, couple hours there, so to speak. So that's all that I've done. So comparatively it's not enough. Page is just like over 50 wide and like 70 height, so that's nothing compared to the page, but I think as just stitching for a few days is fairly good progress. I keep still my threads while I'm waiting from AliExpress to show up with my like a Paco holder, but keep it there. So the longer time it takes for me to actually, you know, find what the symbol is where, than, you know, stitch it, I think sometimes. At least that's what it seems like. And actually for this project I decided to look up for easy PDF readers, since I got the pattern as a PDF. And this is, of course, it's not gonna be there since it's just designer that did the pattern for me. But I wanted to try out PDF reader, and I asked on the Stitch Mania, got the answer right away. What a helpful people in there. It really helped out. So I looked up, there is a trial version of that PDF, and I downloaded it because it was free, you know, for like 15 days. And I think I got a glimpse of what the website's supposed to look like just for like 5 seconds, and then it keeps stopping. I could never open it. And the person on Stitch Mania said that it happens, so it's really worth buying it, and it was, I think, like $4. So I decided to buy because I really didn't like that, you know, why to give a trial version if you can't even try, right? That's kind of unfair, so why to even put it up there? So it was a little annoying, but I bought a full version, and of course still just now learning. But from what I noticed, like you can see, I'm just barely hitting this statue right here. I think the statue is going to be showing up there. That right now I can do only like a highlights for the stitches that I've done, but it's kind of hard to see which one I've done it already or what. So I would prefer some other version instead of like just doing highlights or strikeouts of drawings on each symbol that I've done. But I like that you can at least find like which symbol is throughout the whole, I don't know, is that 5 pages or a whole pattern anyway. So I can go for sure this way, and I am doing a parking method a little bit mixed up, sort of not going by the whole page, but I went mostly like by 20 block wide. And if I find that thread like over here that stretches and then maybe it goes couple there, I would go this pattern versus just leave it there and then have it long hanging or cut off like here and start again there. So that's how I'm working on this. But since today is my dad's birthday and rebirth, sort of speak, at least that's the way I'm thinking of his. So, as you can see, this is my Chatelaine, which would be my very first. And I think that's the very first that I bought. I have several patterns. And since it was the very first I bought, it was in the paper version. So I have like underneath there all pattern in the paper. And from what's that company? From a European company that provides all the Chatelaine kits. I got all the threads that needed, like all the silk threads, as you can see. All the beauties with treasure braid, and all the crystals, all the beads, delicate beads, and you can kind of see this pretty crystal ones. Isn't that amazing looking? I mean, I know it's in the bag, but that's how it came with the needles in there. And the only thing I had to buy is just like this is whole DMC list that I needed. And I got the fabric right now. This is a whole yard of Ariel Lugana 32 count. So I'm not gonna need the full yard, just gonna need to cut it quickly or later. I haven't decided when, but that's what it looks like. It's this light blue, and like here it's barely any of mixing up here of the colors, but in some areas, like you can see a little bit more. So it took me a while to find it later on when I was looking for a kit, because I only knew that's Baltic Sea Mandala, but turns out it's Ostsee, I guess. I don't know, is that a German name or not? And this, I liked this color, but to me it was a little bit too much of the pinkish color, and I didn't care much for it. And I tried different versions. Thank you for from previous videos from, I don't know, I think it might have been when I bought it, or so maybe beginning of last year, 2018, that I was asking. I had very dark fabric picked too, because it looked kind of nice also on dark fabric, but somebody else was stitching it and suggested go for something more neutral and light. So I'm gonna try this as my first one. So you see, I love the turquoise colors, and I know some some of you really love it too. So that's what I'm about to start, and we'll see how it goes. So I might do the separate video of my adventure in Chatelaine and around the Baltic Sea. So stay tuned. And it's the 13th of March, and the past few days, that's what I did with my brand new project, which is Chatelaine, for the first time. And I think I spent about 12 hours roughly while watching a Flosstube, and I'm happy with the result. I did the very center of it, and that contained one type of cryonic, about 4 Karen water lilies, and Gloriana silk. So pretty much just the silks and the cryonic, which I didn't want to do this the first thing in here, but that's what happened. And this is 32 count picture this plus fabric, but when I measured the holes, it came closer to like 35 count. So I would suggest, if you want to stitch in 32, maybe get like 28 that was over dyed and it shrank. So that might make your stitches lay a little bit even nicer. Although mine is going to be smaller in size that way. So I have to take this off the frame, because my George is calling me. I have to do my monthly quota, so I want to continue. And this frame is the biggest that I have to fit it all. And I had this fabric cut to the size, so I left it, since I got the full yard, I kind of left a little bit more longer top and the bottom to roll on my quantum frames from Estonia. And so that's what I've done. I don't know what else I'm gonna pick as a smaller one, but this one is setting on sidelines right now, and I have so many other projects to work on. But it was fun experience, and I loved it. Sad to see it go, but like all children, you know, all of them want some love to be shown time after time at least, and you can't just spend too much time with one. So not to get other projects jealous. So let's grab something else. Well, I've reached mid-March and wanna tell you about what I've done. As you can see, if you remember, it's by Ink Circles, called 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall. And I try to make at least 2 bottles a month, plus a portion of the wall for my son. So the last time I had done 4 of them, those first 4, and a partial wall shelf that they were sitting. And in March, the last few days, I finished 2 more, so I have 6, and I did a little bit more of the shelf. So these are like a dark, this to me looks like a question mark, I don't know what it is, or like a ghost with the 2 eyes there. So I got these bottles done, and again it's stitched on fabric called Ale by Picture This Plus. And that was one of the things I've been working past several days since I filmed last. Next was my snow leopard that I worked just like a couple hours on this, so it's not much, but as they say, you know, drop after drop, it will fill the lake, I guess. So just started to fill in around the eyes and all the dark stuff in there. So it's not much to see right away, but over time you can tell a difference. I'll probably gonna show on my monthly updates what it was before and after, although other projects kind of were taking over and I couldn't work much on my snow leopard. I was so interested in my other projects like Chatelaine and Spoiled Child, and another one that I've been working on is George. So George, this is gonna be where the page 26 end. So from the beginning of the month of March, I kind of started from here and was really working on it. It helps when you have some distraction like a Flosstube to watch, although it probably slows down a bit the work, but that's what I've done. So kind of already finished this page and going a little bit into the next page, but that's what was my George. So the only other thing I can show you is a bit more of my Spoiled Child, and here it is. So just little by little, this is 50 stitches by 50 little square, and the page is about 70 stitches down. So I kind of fill out, and you can start seeing this statue shape on the wall, on a little shelf. So it's slowly filling up, just like I have in our designs. It's a big mess in the back because you have some individual stitches, loose ones that are sitting, and I have lots of blends in here, as probably you can kind of see in here. Those are blends. So I'm not doing fully parking, kind of parking within the page, going a little bit like columns and finishing up to the bottom and gonna add up, and if there's few in here and then I have to go back in there, that's how I'll do it. I think for now I still can't do like fully parking. So that's where I'm leaving. I'm still gonna be working this as one of the main projects in March, my BAP projects, big projects. So that's what it's looking like right now. So I think I'm gonna finish for this 2-week update, and then next part of March is coming up. So we'll see then. Okay, that was it. And if you have questions, comments, please put it down below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And I hope you enjoyed your visit with me. This was Jurgita saying bye-bye. Ate.